Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our webinar with the Hungarian Tourism Agency and its partners. I'm Bethan, for those of you who I haven't met. I'm an account manager at Black Diamond, and we at Black Diamond have been working with the Hungarian Tourism Agency over the last 6 months to promote Hungary to the UK travel trade. And this is our third webinar, and we're really excited to be presenting to you all today and to tell you more about Hungary and beyond Budapest. Speaking today, we have Dalma Horváth, who is the Regional Head of Business Development for the UK and Israel at the Hungarian Tourism Agency. We also have Nora Erdei from Visit Debrecen and Marta Szegedi from Tokaj Walk. So the session is recorded and will be available to listen to afterwards. It will last around 40 minutes. Afterwards, we'll have about a 5-10 minute question and answer session, and all of our presenters here today are very happy to answer any of your questions. And after that, we'll have a prize draw, which is hopefully what everyone's looking forward to as well. So please submit any of the questions that you have via the chat function, and we'll go through those during the Q&A. And yeah, I'm now going to hand you over to Dalma, who is going to sort of introduce you to the rest of the webinar. We've got some exciting projects coming up, and yeah, she's going to kick off the presentations after that. So over to you, Dalma.
Thank you so much, Bethan. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on today's webinar. We're very happy to see so many of you on the participant list. It feels really nice actually to do the presentation when you have a good audience. As Bethan mentioned, today's webinar is about Hungary through our personal experiences. So looking at the agenda for the presentation, I will give a short information about the current COVID situation here in Hungary, but I will not take long, so don't worry. I know everyone had enough of that topic already. And then I will introduce the main project of 2020 and 2021 that we're doing at the Hungarian Tourism Agency at the moment, which is actually the virtual study tour project. And I will not give you any more details about that, but it's coming up very shortly. And then Nora will do her presentation from Visit Debrecen, which is actually the second largest city in Hungary. And her presentation is called Absolutely Yours. So make sure to stay tuned and listen to her great presentation. And then Marta will talk about the amazing Tokaj region, which is not just about wine, and will surely give you some new ideas about this region and this destination as well. And then I will carry on this presentation with the Hungarian Sea, the Lake Balaton, which is also a very popular destination here in Hungary, but maybe not many of you have heard about it before. And then, as Bethan mentioned as well, we will have a question and answer session. So please feel free to drop your questions in the question and answer box or chat function. And then also stay tuned, because we're going to have a lucky draw where we will hand out free goodie bags from the tourism agency, from Debrecen, and some great wine from the Tokaj region. So as I mentioned, the current COVID situation here in Hungary, the number of active cases are decreasing, but unfortunately the new registered active cases daily is growing a little bit since last week or last month. But the vaccination strategy is heading in a good pace. Kindergartens and primary schools are open, and as I heard, they are planning to open the secondary schools shortly as well, so people can start to go back to their offices and work from the office. The hotels are open for business travel at the moment, but health and safety regulations are in place. I talked about the COVID handbook on some previous webinars, so some of you might have heard about it before, that it's actually like a recommendation booklet for the tourism suppliers here in Hungary to help them how actually they can plan their reopening and keep the COVID measures and safety regulations. Also, a national consultation survey started on reopening, so the government is keen on hearing what the public wants and the public needs. So this actually started 1 week ago, and everyone is filling out this questionnaire, and hopefully by tomorrow or by Friday, because the current regulations are until the 1st of March, we will have some new announcements regarding, the reopening strategy as well. So there is government financial support supporting the tourism industry as well. But unfortunately, the borders are closed since the 1st of September. But we see the light at the end of the tunnel, and we really hope that this will change very shortly. So if you need more information about the current situation here in Hungary, you can visit one of the websites that we stated on the slide here. And now something more positive. One of the main projects, the project of 2020 that we had at the Hungarian Tourism Agency, which is the virtual study tour project. We started to think, or we opened up this new activity, was that last spring 11 new tourism regions were announced by the Hungarian Tourism Agency. Well, these are not new regions, but the communication and the promotion of these regions changed. And as the regional breakdown of the tourist destinations in Hungary was announced, and unfortunately due to COVID and the pandemic, it was not possible, or it's not possible, to invite our very important partners to experience Hungary personally. My colleagues and myself, we came up with the idea. We had to be very creative to actually do this virtual study tour project. And the project itself, so this is our team, let's say, so the regional heads, my lovely colleagues. And what we did was basically we traveled all around Hungary in these 11 tourism regions, and we experienced it personally to show it to our partners on our top source markets, what these regions and these destinations are really about. So the main goals of the virtual study tour project was to introduce the 11 tourist destinations. And by introducing these destinations, and as soon as traveling is allowed again, we could increase the length of stay for tourists coming to Hungary. So it will not all be about the capital city, Budapest, but also putting more focus on the destinations outside of the capital. Also helping the Hungarian suppliers with the market presence. So in these videos, we are showing some Hungarian suppliers, some hotels, restaurants, and also with the additional activities like today's webinar, we also have people who are from these regions, like Nora and Marta, who can give their own personal presentation about each region. And this will give you a more clear view of how amazing these places are. Also to introduce new products and services, so some things you might not have heard about before, and also to educate travel agents and sales reps to make it more easy for them to sell these destinations. So all the virtual study tour movies will be for each region around 15-18 minutes long, and basically it will come with a digital manual and also with itinerary for each region, where we give some suggestions for complete products and packages, for even up to 4 or 5 days. So this will definitely give you some updates about the destinations and the regions, and help us to promote these amazing destinations here in Hungary. So some photos I wanted to share with you. You will not see some behind the scenes photos. As you see, we went all around. It was an amazing experience for us as well. It was a challenge because we're not professional actors, so it was very fun and very interesting at times. So just to give you an idea, going around these amazing destinations and making these educational movies for our partners was a great fun, as you see on some of these pictures. So that's me with a lovely lady and card doing some sewing. So actually the movies I mentioned to you, we will have a movie for each region. And today on this presentation, we will introduce the Debrecen and surroundings, the Tokaj and Nyíregyháza region, and the Balaton region as well. And the way you can think of these movies is that it will give you all the visual, it will be videos about these destinations, but at the same time, I will be presenting in the movies, talking about the destination and giving my personal experience as well. So now let's start our virtual tour. As I mentioned on today's presentation, we will have 3 stops altogether. And the first stop is the Tokaj and Nyíregyháza region. And then the second stop will be Debrecen and the surroundings. And then we will go all the way to Lake Balaton region to give you a more detailed presentation about these regions. And now our first stop, the Tokaj and Nyíregyháza region. Bethan?
Yes, thank you, Dalma. We're going to do, before we introduce you to this region, we're going to do a quick poll just to get a feel of what people know about this region.
Okay.
So we're going to launch the first poll.
Okay. So have you ever tasted Tokoi wine before? Oh, wow, but the answers are coming in.
Going to give it a few more seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, a few more people left to vote. Okay, I'm going to end polling now.
Okay,
results.
So thank you so much for answering the poll. This was very fun. So most people haven't tried the Tokoi before, but some people have. 11 people tried it. But just to let you know, the Tokaj region is not actually all about this world famous Tokaj wine. It's actually an amazing destination. So now let's see a short teaser about this region, from our virtual study tour project. And then Marta is here with us and she will give you a very good presentation and useful presentation about this region. So let's see the short teaser. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. And Marti, let's start your presentation.
Okay, thank you very much. So welcome to Hungary and welcome to Tokaj and Nyíregyháza region. As maybe you know, or you have seen on the map, we have got 3 micro-regions, the Tokaj, the Upper Tisza region and Nyíregyháza. So for me, it's mission impossible to say everything about Tokaj and this region, but I will try to do my best to tell you some useful information. So on the next slide, please, we will see where we are. We are in far, far away. As you can see in the map, we are more than 1,200 miles from London, but just only 60 miles from Debrecen airport, which later you will see why it is important. Next slide, please. And some words about the region. We are in the northeastern part of Hungary, and we have got continental climate, which means hot summers, sometimes with storms, and cold winter. We have got a UNESCO World Heritage Site, as you know, the Tokaj Wine region. It is a World Heritage Site from 2002. And the wooden bell towers, I will show later a picture about it. It is on UNESCO World Heritage tentative list. This region is mainly agricultural, and you will think unique things in here. For example, the Botrytis cinerea, which is a fungus, and it is important to making the world famous Tokaj asu. Officially, we have got more than 100 settlements. There are cities, towns, and villages as well. And here is a birthplace of famous people. For example, William Fox, who was the founder of the 20th century Fox. So if he wouldn't birth in 1879 in Tolcsva as an 11th child of a Jewish family, and his parents don't emigrate to the US, Hollywood wouldn't be work as it today works. And Bertalan Farkas is our first Hungarian astronaut. He was also born here in this region. So what to see? We have got many natural beauties, hills, rivers, and anything else. On the first picture, you have seen the view of Zemplén Hills from the castle of Füzér, which is a very picturesque photo, I think. The forest railway in Pálháza, which is in the Tokaj region. Originally, this was used to transport the cutting trees out of the forest, and now it's transport people who would like to see the forest from inside and the wildlife of it. A lake or torn near to Sárospatak, which was originally a millstone mine. And and after they leave it, the rain and the water just fill in this torn, and that will be in Hungarian Tengerszem, which is a very beautiful. And last year, I think it was an Instagram star photo. Another what to see, these are the Saint Martins on the first picture. They live in the bank of the river Tisza, and near to Tokaj we have got the largest Saint Martins colony in Central Europe. And on the second, with the canoe and kayak, they are in the Tokaj Bodrogzug protected landscape area, which is part of the Ramsar Convention. So it's very rare birds and flora and fauna you can see here. On the third picture, you can see the noble rottening, the botrytized berries. They are this purple and gray berries. And from this will be the famous Tokaj asu, which means noble rottening, like the salami or the cheese, for example. So it's a useful fungus for us. And on the fourth picture, you can see the land of hobbits, which today is an Instagram star also on the internet. They are the world famous sellers of Hercegkút. And after it, there is also many sightseeing places in the Upper Tisza region, buildings and gastronomic customs, because very many regional minorities live here and lived here also. There are Catholics, Protestants, Greek Catholics, Orthodoxian and Jewish also. In this picture, we can see a Calvinist church in Tokaj, which is a very little village in the Upper Tisza region, from outside and inside the church. And the inside picture, you can see the covering of the ceiling, which is from the 16th century, and today is working and can be seen. And after this, some other religious places. On the first picture, you can see the synagogue of Mad. You can also see it in the teaser. It has got Europa Nostra diploma in 2005 after the renovation. And another unique thing in Hungary or in the Carpathian Basin, in the Greek Catholic Church, and this huge iconostas in the Greek word, it means the picture wall. And the Greek Catholic was also unique. And Maria Poch, where is this church, is it's a famous shrine in Hungary, and about a famous shrine of Mother Mary. Very many religious people came here, or and many healings were happened here. Originally, he has got a picture which was weaved in the 17th century, and now the original picture is in Wien in the Stephanskirche, and a copy picture is in Maria Poch, and it was weaved 2 more times, and the original picture was never weaved again. The third picture is Nyírbátor in a Gothical church. We have got beautiful Baroque altars, and it's also worth to see if you are not brave to come here the far away. These are also what to see pictures. The first is also the Instagram star Castle of Boldogkő with the Lion Rock and its beautiful view of it. The second is a water mill in Turistvandi, which is from the 18th century. It can be worked, but nowadays it's out of usage. They use it milling the wheat and making food for the flour. These 2 ceramics, the first of Hollóháza, which is a very famous brand in Hungary, and this porcelain manufactory is the oldest porcelain manufactory in Hungary. It was established 1777, and the ceramic from Sárospatak is actually the heritage of the Hutterites, who were the Anabaptist Christian sect in Moravia in the 16th century. So after this many what to see, what to do, first of all, taste. Typically Hungaricums, or in Hungarian Hungaricum, which is like a trademark for typical Hungarian food and beverages, like the palinka or the tokai asszú, or the acacia honey or soda water. And there is a joke from which fruits can be made jam, from that also can be made palinka. So from grape, plum, apricot, and nut also can be made jam and palinka too. Other handcraft products, the emu, yes, that's the bird. We have got an emu farm not far from Tokaj. And in the second village to Tokaj, there is a gin manufactory. And they just think big and let's try. And they nominated to the Gin Masters competition, and they got first place last year. So we are a little bit unique. So not just the asszú, instead of we have got beer and honey and chocolate, gin, and many other things. And in the picture you can see a typical Easter Hungarian dish. It's called yellow cottage cheese. It's enough big, it's big as like a handball, and for this you need 2.5 liters of milk and 50 or 25 or 30 eggs to make this huge sweetie, because you need a little bit sugar to it, but it's a typical Easter, and we like it very much. Originally, it comes from the Ruthenian or Rusin people from the Carpathian Basin. After this tasting so much, do some activity and hit the road by bike on foot to the Upper Tisza region, where is, for example, the Plum Road. It's a thematic route for the plum, which is very famous in that region. Virgin Mary Road, it's a huge European road. It contacts together from Poland Częstochowa to Csíksomlyó, which is also a famous shrine in Romania. And from the western eastern, I think, is Vienna, Bécs with the Stephansdom, and in eastern in Mária Pocs with what I have mentioned. Or for example, route of the medieval churches, for example, Tákos, what you can see. On the Tokoi region, there are roads of northern castles or footsteps of Wonder Rabbi. The synagogue of Mad, which we have mentioned and you have seen in the teaser, is also one of its stop. And for example, the St. Elizabeth route. St. Elizabeth is a famous saint in Europe, and she was born in Sárospatak in the 13th century. Health and active programs, for example, the Upper Tisza, you have seen in the teaser the Nyíregyháza Sóstó spa, or there is another in Nyírbátor. Or for example, there is an interesting how to say, competition, or not, it's not the best word for it, because many people come here and make raft from PET bottles as a recycling, what they collected from the river Tisza as a litter, and they make some kind of raft, and they're using it to come down on the river Tisza. It's interesting that we have got apitherapy, which using bees for healing some arthritis or any other people. And you have also seen the Zemplén Adventure Park with the zip line in Sátoraljaújhely, but there you can canoeing and or hunting if you have I don't know how much fashionable today is in this hunting tourism. And there are many festivals also in this region, like the Crescendo Summer Institute in Tokaj, which is an instrumental summer camp. If you would like to professional or want to get better in that instrument, and the Cantemos International Choral Festival in Nyíregyháza, which is a competition for chorus or chorus lines. After it, what to do about some words about my little company. It's tailor-made guided tours in Tokaj or its surroundings if you need. I've got thematic walks, for example, wine tasting. So as I see, just a few people have tasted the Tokaj Asu, but I will be happy if I can show you these possibilities. Or for example, Greek heritage from the 18th century in Tokaj, or private tours if you would like to know more about your family roots, for example, or something like this. Feel free to contact me, and if I can, I help you as I know. And I'm officially registered tour guide in Hungary, which is important in Hungary, at least, that you have got enough enough knowledge to be a tour guide. Where to stay and eat? In this region, there are a wide scale of possibilities, from rooms to let until 5-star hotel. In this picture, next year we'll be opening the Grand Hotel Tokaj with 100 rooms, and we will see if it will be enough or will be just a little small, because hopefully we have got many tourists here. The restaurants also, from typical Hungarian dishes until fine dining. For example, Anyukám mondta, it's a famous and awarded restaurant in Hungary. It means my mom said, and it's an Italy-Hungarian style, and it has got also a bistro or a pizzeria in Debrecen as well. Another two buildings. The first is the Tokoi Hotel. This is the plan. Now it's under renovating, and hopefully next year it will be open also. It has got, as I think, 60 rooms maybe. And this, what to say, it's unique form, it's sure. That will be a new winery of Sauska near to Mad, and they made it into the grape vineyard with this form. So thank you for your attention, and I think 2 weeks are not enough to see everything in this region. I just try to make some spreads and some photos of it.
Thank you so much, Marti, for this amazing presentation. And you mentioned Tokaj Asu, and not many people have actually tried the Tokaj Asu wine. But actually, in the lucky draw, we will have 3 bottles to give out. So make sure you stay tuned and listen to the presentation, because if you have the right answer and you answer first, you will get a bottle of this amazing wine. So our next destination, our second stop, is Debrecen and its surroundings. So Bethan, do you have a poll question for that as well?
I do. I'm going to launch it now.
Okay, so have you ever been to Debrecen, Hungary's second largest city? Let's see the answers.
Gonna give it a few more seconds. I'll show you the results. There you go.
Okay, thank you so much. So most of you, 89%, answered that no, they haven't been to, but they would like to go to this city. So Nora, the stage is yours. But first, let me show a short teaser about this amazing region and the teaser of the virtual study tour movie. So let's see.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello from the city of Debrecen, Hungary. I'm very honored to have the opportunity to say a few words about my lovely city where I was born, where I live, and where I've been working to promote tourism for more than 16 years now. As you can see, our logo and our slogan is absolutely yours. So I am absolutely yours at the moment to share some useful information about the city of Debrecen, which I really do hope will help you decide to come and experience yourself. You can move on. Thank you. So just some facts and figures about this city. As Dalma mentioned already, this is the second largest city of Hungary after Budapest. It is located east of the capital, relatively close to the Romanian border, but we rather state that Debrecen is the economic, cultural, and educational center of eastern Hungary, with a population of more than 200,000 people. Compared to Budapest, it's a relatively small town with all its advantages. But if we just look around, we can say that this is the center of the region with more than 400,000 inhabitants. We are not too far from Budapest. On highway, it's 2 hours or sometimes even less than 2 hours to get to Debrecen. And we are not too far from the UK either, due to the international airport that we have in Debrecen that offers direct scheduled flights that connect the city of Debrecen, among others, with London. And as you can see on this slide, Debrecen is very easy to access from many major European cities, including London. But in normal circumstances, when we don't have this COVID situation, when we don't have the pandemic, Debrecen is easy to access also from Paris, Milan, Dortmund, Doncaster, Mallorca, Malta, Moscow, Tel Aviv, and so on. So we say that Debrecen is a continuously developing city, also in terms of tourism. So I would like to say a few words about now our tourism offer. Regarding tourism, we have two main parts of the city. One is the historic city center, and the other one is the city park that we call Great Forest, or as we say in this weird Hungarian language, Nagy Erdő. And this slide shows you the top three venues that we have in Debrecen. Of course, we have much more than these three, but these are the major ones. In the city park, so-called Great Forest, we have a big stadium, which we call Nagy Erdei, or Great Forest Arena, which is a big multi-functional stadium with a capacity of more than 20,000, with all the facilities that makes it good, not only for sports events, but also for weddings, conferences, festivals, and all kinds of events. Relatively close to this beautiful modern stadium, we have a water tower that is a historic building, more than 100 years old, and it is still a functioning water tower, but at the same time, this is an adventure center and also one of the most iconic buildings of Debrecen that represents very well that renewal that the city of Debrecen has been facing over the last couple of years. So this Nagy Erdei Water Tower Adventure Center, as we say, is not only a beautiful building, but it is also a festival venue with a beautiful terrace, with a festival stage. It also has indoor exhibition areas and a conference hall, but for tourists and also for locals, it has many attractions. It has a nice bar, both indoors and both outdoors. It has a nice climbing wall. It also has an observation point that offers a beautiful view over the park, over the attractions nearby. Another venue that I definitely have to mention is located in the historic city center, and it is called Kerchief Conference Center. As its name suggests, this is a conference center, but it is used not only for conferences, but also for cultural events, classical concerts, exhibitions, small meetings, business meetings. It has 17 rooms, including a grand hall, and it can accommodate events up to 1,500 people. It is located within a big building complex, together with a 4-star business hotel and a modern art gallery, and a very, very well located conference center, because this is located absolutely in the heart of the city center, right in the so-called museum district. So all the people who have had enough of working hard or participating on sometimes boring conferences or business meetings can just go out for a couple of minutes to have some cultural experience in the nearby museums. Okay, besides event venues, we have lots of attractions. Of course, it's a challenge to highlight everything in a couple of minutes, but I will just try to focus on the more important ones. In the historic city center, we have beautiful and very diverse architecture from the 17th century up to contemporary modern architecture. In the city center, as I just mentioned, related to the conference center, we have a museum district with very interesting and exciting museums and galleries and exhibitions. Debrecen is proudly the home of Hungary's second largest Jewish community, with a very nice Jewish quarter and 2 beautiful synagogues right in the heart of the center. And in the picture that you can see, that night time picture, that part of the city center is the pedestrian zone that is very that is ideal for hosting all kinds of outdoor festivals, which we have a lot. The second part of the city is the so-called Nagy Erdei Park, or Great Forest Park, which is on the one hand a nature conservation area with beautiful, large, more than 100-year-old oak trees. But at the same time, that is also a recreational zone, the green zone, the lung of the city, with diverse recreational opportunities. In the city park, we have, among others, a zoo, an amusement park, a beautiful botanical garden. We have nature trails, bike routes, playgrounds, of course, lots of hotels, restaurants, terraces, beautiful lakes, and also a big spa complex. That is the third attraction that I'm going to talk about. It is called Aquaticum Spa Complex. Aquaticum Spa is located, as I just mentioned, in the Nora Erdei Park, and it is a big spa complex with various spa units, including indoor thermal bath, indoor and outdoor aqua parks. Actually, the outdoor aqua park has been just renovated completely, and it opened last summer in June, which was the biggest attraction, not only in Debrecen, but I can say that also in Hungary. Of course, the spa complex has a wellness island, it has medical facilities, a sauna world, and within this big spa complex, there is a 4-star spa hotel with direct access to all the spa units. So very well located, very good services, very good thermal water that once you experience, you will feel that you are reborn mentally and physically as well. Of course, as a big city, as a second city, Debrecen is a festival city. I don't know whether you know, but Hungarians really like festivals and really like dedicating everything that they are proud of and make a festival out of them. So that is also true in Debrecen. We have festivals all over the year. The first one usually starts in March, when we have an outdoor cultural festival dedicated to the Mangalitsa pig. But I would like to highlight 3 others that we are very proud of. One of the biggest festivals of Debrecen and also of Hungary is the so-called Debrecen Flower Festival, or Debrecen Flower Carnival, that usually takes place around the 20th of August, which is a national holiday in Debrecen. That is the day when we celebrate the foundation of the Hungarian state. So that's why we say that the Debrecen Flower Carnival, that every Hungarian knows, is the biggest birthday party in Hungary. Of course, it's a big carnival and a big festival. It has street parades with double-decker-sized, beautiful, spectacular flower floats marching across the city. We have national and international dance ensembles with very nice performances. And we say that this is just a week-long fiesta in the spirit of dance, flowers, and music. Debrecen is a university city. We have a big university with 30,000 university students. And out of the 30,000 university students, more than 15% now is from abroad. So we have lots of international students in Debrecen. As a university city, of course, we have a festival dedicated to the young folks, but this campus festival that is held every July is also a very family-friendly festival. This is one of the biggest summer events in Hungary, with a lineup of Hungarian and international performers, dozens of stages and venues, and almost 400 events over the 4 or 5 days. So we keep our fingers crossed that these festivals will be lucky to be held this year when this pandemic will be over. Debrecen is very proud of its gastro and culinary traditions. And though we are not a traditional wine region, I have to say that just like every other Hungarian person, the people of Debrecen also like Hungarian wine. So we decided, why not have a wine festival in Debrecen? We are not too far from the Tokaj wine region. We are not too far from Budapest. We are not too far from other wine regions in the country, because Hungary itself is a relatively small country. So everything is relatively close to other destinations. So my personal favorite festival in Debrecen is the Debrecen Wine and Jazz Days. So wine, Hungarian wine, and live jazz music, we think is a very good combination, especially when this is held in the beautiful city park, Nora Erdei. So this is a big gastro and jazz jamboree with Hungarian wines and live jazz music held in the beautiful Great Forest Park of Debrecen. Of course, we have lots of very nice hotels. Three that I would like to highlight. Hotel Lyceum is located in the city center of Debrecen. It is in the same building complex as the conference center, which I already talked about. This is a 4-star city hotel and business hotel with direct access to the conference center and direct access to the other part of the building complex, which is the so-called Modern, that is a modern and contemporary art gallery. You can see the numbers. It has 71 standard and 16 superior rooms, 4 apartments. And as I just mentioned, this is within the same building as the Kerchief Conference Center and the Modern Gallery. In the city park, we have the 5-star hotel, Hotel Divinus, that was for a long time the one and only 5-star hotel in the eastern part of Hungary. This is not true anymore, but we still like saying that. This is located at the gate of the city park, Nagy Erdei, and this is the largest hotel in the city with its 149 rooms. And it is very close to Aquaticum Spa Complex. So guests who would like to get some fresh air or would like to refresh in the spa, within 5 minutes they are there. The other hotel I already talked about is the Aquaticum Thermal and Wellness Hotel, located in the middle of the Aquaticum Spa Complex. And as I just mentioned, with direct access to all the spa units. So you don't have to wear anything else, only just your swimming suit, and then you can go directly to have a splash in the indoor aqua park, or you can just relax in the hot thermal water, or you can just go to a fine massage and then you are reborn. Of course, we'll have new hotels opening very soon, hopefully. Next to the outdoor spa, outdoor aqua park, hopefully very soon we'll open a new hotel, which will be called Strand Hotel. It will be a 4-star hotel with 122 rooms. Very well located with a beautiful view over the park and over the spa. In the city center, we will have a city hotel downtown, a 4-star hotel with 119 rooms and 12 apartments. And very close to the beautiful university building, we will have the University Tower, or in Hungarian, Egyetem Tower, located again in the city park, because our campus is located in the city park, and it will be a very big and very modern hotel. And why have so many hotels, and why have so many hotel rooms in Debrecen? The answer is very simple. Debrecen as a tourist destination is on the rise. We are on the European and international map due to the rise of the direct flights we have at the airport, and due to the fact that Debrecen is more and more known also outside Hungary and also outside the neighbor countries. We are very happy, and it was an honor for us in 2017 that Lonely Planet listed our city among the top 10 best value destinations of the world, which is a big thing, because I think that back then in 2017, even less people knew that there is a city called Debrecen. So here's the short explanation, description that Lonely Planet wrote about Debrecen. So this is my final slide. I would like to finish my presentation with reading this short text out for you. According to Lonely Planet, Debrecen, hiding in plain sight beyond Budapest, is Debrecen, the country's second largest city and a heart of low-cost Hungary. Now connected by Europe's budget airline network to, back then it was only 7 countries, now it's the double of that, the city is opening up to international visitors. Debrecen is rich in history. I have to say that Debrecen was twice the capital of the country, but more modern influences have prompted a growing modern art scene and streets that come alive with summer festivals. What really sets Debrecen apart is its location on the edge of Hungary's Puszta, Eastern Plains. The haunt of Hungarian cowboys and home to Hortobágy National Park, the region still dominates romantic visions of traditional Hungary. As tourism professionals and as a tour guide myself, we usually say that if you would like to experience Hungary and you have already been to Budapest once or twice or even more than that, feel free to discover the rest of the country. Feel free to come to Debrecen. Now it's only 2 or 3 hours directly from London, and you are here, and then you can experience the great Hungarian gastronomy, culture, festivals, architecture, spa culture, and then you can have great day trips in the region. You can go to the beautiful Hortobágy National Park, which is just only 30 minutes from Debrecen. Within an hour and a half, you are in the Tokaj region that my colleague Marta was talking about. You can also have some active recreation at Lake Tisza. You can go over to, let's say, Oradea, which used to be a Hungarian city, but now it is located in Romania. And you can explore the beautiful villages surrounding Debrecen. So Debrecen itself, as a destination for city breaks, for long weekends, offer much more than only 2 or 3 days. You can spend even a week in Debrecen and its region, including the Tokoi region, without getting bored. So that was a challenge to try to convince you why Debrecen is a great place to visit, but I hope I could manage. I will be here together with Dalma, Marta, and the rest of my colleagues. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and feel free to come and experience Debrecen yourself. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nora. It was a great presentation, very useful, with all the new information. And now to our final stop today on this presentation, our third stop, the Balaton region. Bethan, have you prepared the poll for this
Yes.
region as well?
Yes, final poll. This one's more of a trivia poll, so we'll see who knows their European lakes.
Okay. So, is Lake Balaton the largest lake in Central Europe? Sorry, a freshwater lake or a saltwater lake? Let's see.
I didn't know the answer to this earlier on today.
Okay, so the final result, yes, it's actually a freshwater lake in Central Europe, the largest one. So, thank you so much for answering that question as well. And now I would like to show you the last teaser of today's presentation, which is about the Balaton region educational movie. And then I will introduce the region in more detail. So our virtual tour continues around Lake Balaton, and to be honest, Hungary is not considered as a sun and sea destination, as we are actually landlocked and we don't actually have a sea, jumping back to the whole question. But the Balaton region is the most popular tourist destination in Hungary after the capital city, and this, as we call it, it is the Hungarian Sea. Even though it's with fresh water, we call it the Hungarian Sea or the Hungarian Tuscany or Riviera, and the nicknames for this spectacular lake or this region have no end, basically. So the largest freshwater lake in Central Europe, and the highlands are basically a year-round destination with plenty of opportunities to get active, like cycling. And there is more than a 200-kilometer long bicycle route around the lake. But it also has cultural gems to explore, such as castles, palaces, and actually very romantic little cities. And on the north side, the water deepens steeply, but the south side has a shallower, more slow shores, ideal for splashing around with even small children. So Lake Balaton, getting there, basically, if you are just dropping off in the capital city, Budapest, and renting a car or a bus or even by train, you can easily get to this destination. By car, it's like 1 hour, 1.5 hours. By train, it's 2 hours, 2.5 hours. But there is also the Hévíz Balaton Airport, which is located just next to this amazing lake. So the lake itself stretches across 77 kilometers in the western part of Hungary, and visitors coming from Budapest, as I mentioned, can be at the water's edge in less than just 1 hour if you're using this M7 motorway. So every summer, the nearly 200 square kilometer lake warms up actually very easily, and with its gradual depth, attractive to those wishing to splash around. And I mean, just look at this amazing picture. You know, I think it's truly beautiful, and you would not even tell that this is not actually a sea. So, however, beachside fun, you know, this is not the only thing that you can do in this region or in Lake Balaton. And from spring until autumn, the unique atmosphere of the Balaton upland region, which, you know, perspective of a World Heritage site rimmed with some volcanic mountains, is definitely, you know, guaranteed by its favorable microclimate, castles, invite conquest, and cloister ruins, and even some lookout towers. So on the top picture, one of Hungary's most beautiful monuments, a masterpiece of Baroque architecture, awaits visitors, for example, to Kerchief, with a palm house, a hunting exhibition, historical model trains, and a vast park that has been actually designated as a nature reserve as well. Or you can row through the back passageways of the Tapolca Lake Cave that you see on the picture, dissolved from limestone by the blending of cold and hot karst waters over 100,000 years. But also for culinary experiences, head over to Balaton that you see on the picture there, where a multitude of wine terraces with panoramic views over the lake offer, you know, delights of family wine cellars of this region. And Lake Balaton is the ideal place for the whole family, from the smallest children to older generations. And another side to this wonderful landscape can be discovered by bike, as I mentioned previously. So cyclists can ride the trail built around the lake all the way, with the total length of 210 kilometers. And also sailing has a very long tradition at Balaton, and it's supported by a well-equipped and very modern yacht port network with also rental opportunities, but also for training courses and organized tours as well. And also Balaton is the ideal destination for a summer vacation as well, as you know, the lake's silky water, where the temperature can rise as above to 26 Celsius in the summer, can be enjoyed at more than 70 lakeside beaches, all of which has been, you know, renovated in 2018. So sand castles, water adventure parks built on the lake, colorful playgrounds, beach volleyball, beach football. All these activities ensure that no member of the family is bored even for a minute when you visit this destination. In addition, the lake also offers like water skiing, kite surfing, paddle boarding, and even the dragon boating opportunity. But if you're looking for more fun, or you can visit the Balaton Aqua Park, where there are some giant water slides, and these will definitely get the adrenaline flowing. On our next slide, so I decided not to use my personal pictures of Balaton Sound where you could see me, because definitely it would not be acceptable for this presentation. But I can assure you that after some family fun, you should definitely rent some steam in Zamardi and party hard at the Balaton Sound, which is one of the largest open-air electronic music festivals in Europe. So Balaton Sound, and this is actually a 5-day electronic music festival, and it's next to Lake Balaton. So during the day, you can enjoy the amazing lake itself, sunbathe, have some cocktails, and then as the sun goes down, enjoy the amazing concerts of this festival. Numerous star DJs performing for approximately like 200,000 international visitors as well. So I would definitely advise you to try this amazing festival when you will have the chance. And now this amazing destination, let's take a dip in Europe's largest thermal lake, where you can admire the beauty of nature surrounding the lake itself, while you float among some water lilies in this medicinal water. So Hévíz, the health and wellness capital of Europe, we call it, as in 2020, the town was actually selected as one of the 15 finest European tourist destinations. So no destination can actually be compared to Lake Hévíz. And this destination is in the western tip of Lake Balaton, very close to Lake Balaton and very close to the Balaton airport as well. So the 4.4 hectare lake is welcoming all year round, and the water temperature does not drop below 24 Celsius. So it's even nice to go swimming in the lake that has medicinal effects during the winter, even if it's snowing. It's an amazing experience. And also the water does not drop below 24 degrees in the winter, but in the summer it can heat up to all the way 34 degrees. So this mineral-rich thermal waters and the traditional treatments using the medicinal mud, that covers the lake bed several meters thick, are primarily used or suited for treating musculoskeletal and rheumatic problems. But the mud's beautifying effects are not to be dismissed either, as just one mud pack and your skin will be rejuvenated basically. So also the hotels of this destination of Hévíz offer both traditional treatments and modern medical wellness services as well, supporting some spiritual and physical regeneration, along with innumerable health promotion, fitness and selfness programs at their own spa facilities, that I think is extremely important after such a difficult period of time, after a pandemic. So this would definitely be an ideal destination to visit when finally our life will get back to normal and traveling will be allowed again. So I will give you some more details. We will have additional presentations about each amazing destination of Hungary, and we will have a supplier from Lake Balaton region who will also give you some more details and hotels later on in an upcoming webinar. So I hope that you enjoyed our presentations today, and then you enjoyed our virtual tours about these amazing regions as well. And now we're open for questions. I saw that some people already sent some questions in the question and answer box. So please feel to drop your questions now, or we could be in touch with you after the presentation and the webinar as well to answer any kind of questions that you have.
Yeah, we've had some great questions come in. I've got one from Tony. He's asked, is it easy to drive around Hungary? People can arrive in Budapest and pick up a car. That's what most people would do?
Yeah, it's actually very easy. So we know that, you know, after the pandemic, most probably Budapest will be the main destination where people will land. But there is also the opportunity to arrive in Debrecen, as Nora mentioned. But obviously, it's very easy to rent a car and then just drive around. Basically, Budapest is in the middle of the country, and within 2 hours, you can be on either side of the country, you know, to get to know these amazing destinations as well. So it's very, very easy to. We have great motorways, and the car renting is very easy. So yes.
Perfect, thank you. And where in the UK can you fly directly to Debrecen? It's one of the questions from Jeanette.
Yeah, Nora?
At the moment it's only London Luton, and it's Wizz Air that flies from the UK to Debrecen. Before the pandemic, we also had Doncaster connected to Debrecen, but these two basically, as the International Airport of Debrecen is developing continuously, we keep our fingers crossed that more and more destinations will open. But if let's say London Luton or Doncaster is not good for you, don't bother, because from Budapest we have hourly intercity train services connecting Budapest and Debrecen, and even if you just rent a car, within 2 hours you are in Debrecen. So as I just said in my presentation, it's not a big country. It's very easy to drive around.
Brilliant, thank you, Nora. I've had 3 people ask, during non-COVID times, when is Balaton Sound?
Yeah, I talked a lot about Balaton Sound. Actually, we have many more festivals in the Balaton region that I just picked to talk about one, but it's usually in the beginning of July. So in the middle of summer, when the weather is amazing. And as I mentioned, you know, it's next to the beach in Lake Balaton. So it's definitely a great experience or party. But also, you know, Nora said that we are the festival, the country of festivals. So we have a festival for everything, for palinka, for wine, for cheese, for, you know, so you name it, we will make a festival for it. So even in the other parts of Lake Balaton, there are some wine tasting festivals. And, you know, if there is need for it, we are very happy to send information or a list about the planned festivals or the ones that we usually have. Obviously, COVID, you know, it changed things a bit, but there are some events that, you know, we have every year, like festivals. So we can definitely send a list of that if someone would like to see it.
Yeah, we can include that in the follow-up to this webinar, along with the recording and presentation.
Yeah.
So one question from Kathleen, she's asked, is it easy to access Lake Balaton if you were coming from Vienna on the train to Budapest?
Yeah, so it's actually, there is, besides renting the car, as Nora said, also the train way, or how to say, within the country is very well built. So even we have international trains running between Vienna and Lake Balaton, and then to Budapest, and then to Debrecen. So the whole country is covered, and it's very easy to use. It's not expensive, and also the quality of the trains it's very good. So I would definitely recommend, and it's more on the sustainable side as well.
Yeah, definitely. Good, great answer. Thank you, Dalma. And we have one more question from Louise. She's asked, what is the average cost of a meal in a good restaurant for 2 people? And that might be difficult to answer because I know we're talking about multiple regions, but if you just give us a bit of a ballpark, maybe.
Yeah, so if we're talking about the capital, you know, there's a wide range of possibilities for gastronomical experiences. So from street food to eating a langos, which is like a dough with sour cream and cheese, which is amazing and I love. But you can also have the Michelin star restaurants. So there is a huge wide range. But to go to a good restaurant, I would say with wine around let's say from £60 up to up to the sky. So if you go to a Michelin star restaurant, obviously it's the price would definitely be much more.
Yeah, definitely.
And
okay.
also depends on the wine that you're having. So
yeah. And final question. What meal would Nora recommend to try as typical of Debrecen?
Any kind. Any kind, but I would definitely recommend to taste Debrecen double sausage, which is a local specialty. Go to the local farmers markets to meet local people selling their homegrown products. And of course, the goulash, which is a word that usually mentioned firsthand when talking about Hungary, but this time it hasn't been mentioned yet. But we in Debrecen are very proud of this traditional Hungarian dish, which we pronounce as goulash, because we say that Debrecen and its region is the birthplace of the goulash. Why am I saying this? I mentioned in my presentation that Horváth-Ibolya National Park is only around 30 minutes from Debrecen, and that is the place of the Hungarian shepherds, herders, or the Hungarian cowboys, as a journalist called them a couple of years ago. And they were the ones who cooked goulash for themselves out in the fields on open fire, and then somehow spread all over the country and then all over the world, making it an iconic Hungarian dish. So if you would like to taste real, authentic, traditional Hungarian goulash, then Debrecen is the place. But of course, you can taste it anywhere in the country, because even myself can cook. I'm not a good cook though. I'm not really into cooking, not as much as eating, but I can myself cook a really great goulash.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Nora.
Then taste the homemade one.
Thank you so much. That was a great answer. It's making me hungry. So we just have, so I think that's all the questions now. Thank you everyone for your great questions, and thank you panelists for the answers. And we wanted to wrap up today's session with our prize giveaway. So thank you for all, I know we've run a little bit over on our timings, but thank you for all sticking around this long. And yeah, we're going to go do some questions now. So 3 questions from each of our panelists, and the person who enters the answer in the chat box first will be the winner of the prizes. So, and please could I just ask that if you win the first or the second prize, could you not try and win the next one, because we want to share the love and share the prizes. So I'm going to hand over to, I think it's Marta. Marta is doing the first question.
Yeah.
Yes, the question is connecting to my presentation. For which holiday can be connected the yellow cottage cheese when we eat it?
Hey, Dennis.
Oh.
I think. Oh, so many answers.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think so. I'm assuming the answer is Easter.
Yes, that's correct.
And Emma is first on my list. Emma, congratulations, Emma. I will contact you after this webinar and arrange delivery of your prize. So, and thank you. Everyone got it right. Lots of people.
So everyone was listening. It's very good, because Marta, you didn't put so much attention on this word.
Yeah, that was a tough question.
Part. So tough question and great answers.
So next question over to you, Nora.
Yes, my question will be an easy one, I guess. The question sounds like, where is Debrecen located within Hungary?
Oh.
And the answer you were looking for, are we going for northeast? Northeast.
Yes.
So that is according
south of Tokoi. That's also good.
So I think it's Tony who got there first.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Tony. Great question, Nora. And finally, we have one more question from Dalma.
Yes. So my question would be, which side, the north or the south shore of Lake Balaton, is the shallow side? South. Yay, north, south. Oh, look, not everyone got it right, but I saw the right answer. Whoa, I cannot go back now.
Some quick typers. So
Yeah,
the answer is south.
Yes.
And so it's Sian. Congratulations, Sian. Brilliant. I will contact you and the other winners after this webinar. Thank you, everyone, for submitting your answers. I'm sorry we can't send something to everyone, but yeah, we really appreciate you taking the time out with us today and sticking around. And I'll just hand over to the panelists if they have anything final to say.
Yeah, so thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. It was a really good turnout, and I really hope that we shared some very useful information with you. You know, we all know that it's a very difficult situation at the moment, but you know, there is the light at the end of the tunnel, and we are very happy to share any information or answer any of your questions. So we will be in touch with follow-up emails. And I also saw in the chat box that someone was asking for the recipe of gulash, so we can actually send the link for that in the follow-up as well. So you can try to cook your own gulash soup at home. But let's hope that all of you can, you know, come and experience this amazing country very soon. And we cannot wait to see you here in Hungary, but also to meet you personally. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Nora. Thanks, Marty. Thanks, Dalma.
Bye.